This is a very popular handgun. It's called the Sigma, in case you don't know. And I'm not going to do a general review. I'm going to give you my experience with it. I bought it in 2007, and I've carried it to this day. And it has always fired when I wanted it to fire. It functions perfectly with most types of ammunition except Wolf. And that's just this gun. I know other Sigma owners have no problem with Wolf ammunition. But the reason I'm making this video is because there's a lot of crap that gets said about it. And the number one thing is the trigger. Oh, the trigger's so bad I can't hit a broadside of a barn. If you can shoot this gun and pull the trigger and not have the gun move when you pull it, then you're going to hit what you're aiming at. I like this piece because it's the first gun I ever bought, and it has a 200,000 pound trigger. It has probably a 9-pound trigger now. It probably comes from the factory with a 10-pound trigger. I haven't altered it. I didn't want to. I want this thing to be stock and reliable. And it's helped me as a shooter because I didn't have a 1911 with a half-pound trigger. I have this with a 10 or a 9-pound now, and it works great. And I can hit what I'm aiming at. I'm not going to accidentally set it off, and it was a great gun to learn on. I've shot for many years now, and I have other guns, but I keep carrying this because it points naturally. I know it really well. I've put 4,000 rounds through this, and I've taken it apart, and I just know it. It's something that, although there's millions of these things getting made every day or every year, it's a gun that I know very well and I trust. One thing that I don't really see a whole lot of people talking about is you have to periodically, after you do thousands of rounds, you have to clean out this extractor here, and you just take this off. And the way that you do that is you get a flathead screwdriver and you push this off, and when you do it, beware, put the gun in a bag and do it, because the firing pin's going to fly out. So you clean out inside the firing pin, and then you also clean out the extractor. The first time I did that, there was a bunch of stuff underneath. I didn't really know what I was doing, but once I did that, you know, I basically had more confidence in taking this thing down all the way, what they call a detail strip, and now I don't really need a gunsmith to do it for me. I can do it for myself. I can maintain this thing on my own. And don't worry about the trigger. I mean, if you go and you can dry fire it and you can keep the sights well and you have good trigger control, the trigger is a non-issue. It's not as nice as a half-pound trigger or whatever, but do you really want a half-pound trigger in a defensive gun? I don't. Anyway, don't believe all the forums. This is my experience with it, and you know, buy it. Buy it instead of a Glock. That's my motto. If it feels better in your hand, why not get it? I think the quality of this is just the same level of a quality of a Glock. The materials they use are great, and yeah, there's some MIM parts in it, but I think they're putting MIM parts in Glocks now. So have at it. You can get them for $250 with rebates, and the guns that they're making today, the specs and the machinery that they're using, it's basically, it's like shoes. It comes down to what fits you best. So if this is what fits you best, or if you're just getting into handguns and you don't want to spend $900, get this. I have other guns and I always come back to it.